So you want to market your business, you want to market your personal brand, but you don't like getting on video. I completely get it. I understand. But I have a solution for you. If you really don't like video and you don't want to go through the process of learning, or it's going to take time to get good, then there is a solution for you that you can use as a means to an end while you're working on your video skills, if you ever want to go down that route. But if you don't, it's perfectly fine. You can blog instead, right? So what we're going to be talking about today is building your personal brand with a blog. So this is for you, especially if you hate video. You're not comfortable on video. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it just because everyone else is doing it, right? But just understand that a video is the most effective way to market your personal brand. It is the most effective. So if you really can do it, you should be doing it, but it's not the only thing you have to do. But just know as well that it's your business. You market it the way you want to market it. And it's perfectly fine not to do video if you don't want to do video. Or you want to do what we call faceless marketing and you just don't show yourself and you can have people make videos for you and sell that way. That's perfectly fine. But I want to talk today about how to market yourself with a blog and why, in this day and age when people don't like to read, why this is still a really good thing to do. And it's really good for your business and it's really good for your personal brand. Let's get into why that. Okay. Really, it's for you if you love to write. If you're the kind of person who likes to sit down and write your thoughts out and take some time, then this is your lane. And then, of course, with ChatGPT and all the other writing tools that are around there, this can be done a lot quicker than it used to be done. You can give it your ideas, tell it what you want to write, give it your tone of voice, and it can craft the basic first draft for you. Then you have to just go and edit, make it yours, and you're good to go. So the writing process has really speeded up in that sense. But if you like to do it the old way, you like to write yourself, nothing wrong with that as well. You can take your time and really write a really good article and a really good blog and build your brand that way. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. So, why does a blog still work when you can see that people don't really like to read today? You see so many times people saying too long, didn't read, TLDR, right? And if you write something that is too long or it looks too long for people, they're put off and they don't like to read it. But my argument to that is that people do still like to read, and some people value reading and want to carve out some time in their day to actually read something of value that they find valuable. And that could, at the end of the day, be your blog that they are turning to get those nuggets of wisdom every day or every week. Depends how often you put your blog out. All right. So you can build up an audience that is just waiting for the next blog of yours to come out. So these people do exist, and it is still a great way to build your brand. So, why does it work? The first thing is having a blog builds your authority. So, when people can see multiple articles that you put, it's a little bit like a book, right? A book builds authority, but also being a blog writer also builds authority because people can see that you've got multiple articles available on your blog site and you're talking about particular topics that are themed around one general topic that they are interested in reading about, and they then get to see you as the expert because you've written so many articles around those topics, right? So it's a great way to show yourself as an authority. And if you look at the word authority there, and you take off the last three letters, you've got the word author. As an author, I think we all know that when we see someone who's written a book, we tend to look at them, we tend to elevate their brand perception a little bit because we think that they have that authority because they've written a book. It's the same with a blog. It does exactly the same thing. But not just that, having a blog and a regular blog that you put out, whether it's once a week, once a month, or once a day, it's great for your SEO of your website. So if you include your blog on your website, and I'll talk later about how to do that, but if you include your blog on your website, then this means that every blog that you put out is an extra page on your website. So the more blogs you post, the bigger your website gets. And each time you put out more content, Google and the other search engines will crawl your site looking for that new content, and then they will list it. So the more articles you have, the more likely you're going to be showing up when people key in certain search terms that are related to what it is you're talking about. Then the chances of your article coming up is very high. Let me give you an example of how powerful this can be and how it can work for SEO. There was one time, a long time ago in my business, when I was running my copywriting business just solely as a copywriting agency, we got a request from one of our customers, a regular customer, to transcribe a conference that they'd had. So they were going to send us the audio tapes and we would transcribe. Now, this was in the day before AI. So nowadays you can just feed those tapes through AI and it would automatically, within a few seconds, create the script for you. That didn't exist in those days. People would hire transcribers to sit with headphones, listen, and type it out. So we agreed with the client that we would do that work for them. So as we were doing it, we had a blog on our site at the time, and one of my staff wrote an article about it. It was one of those articles about the back end, looking behind the scenes of the company. So this is what we're working on this week. So it was a blog about that. It was a little humorous little article about the fact that we were transcribing and some of the funny things that had come up through the misunderstanding of what people heard on the tapes and what they'd written down. And it's like, how did you hear that type of thing? So this is what the article was about. So it was all about transcription services that we were doing with this particular client. And suddenly I started to get inquiries coming into the business asking if we would provide transcription services or how much were our transcription services. I'm thinking, we've got nothing on our site that talks about transcription. None of the services that we list is transcription. We've never done it before. So I was puzzled as to why we kept getting inquiries. And so I had to tell people, I'm sorry, we don't offer this service. And then someone piped up when I said after one particular inquiry, I put the phone down and I was going, that's like the third inquiry I've had on transcription. That's really strange. And then someone said to me, oh, we posted a blog article about that last week. Oh, okay. Then the penny dropped and it was like, wow, this one article, this one blog actually brought in potential business. Unfortunately, it wasn't the business we did. But you can see the power of it. The fact that you wrote an article on one topic and someone's Googling that topic and your blog comes up and it leads through to your website, then they will contact you and you can get business from that. So that's how powerful a blog can be with SEO as well. Really good to have. I always recommend with clients, if you've got a website, put a blog on it. It's a great way to naturally build out your content without having too many other pages on your website for people to read about you. If they just land on your site, they're not going to be reading the blogs, but you still want to keep your main website separate and have the blog kind of running in the background, really. That's what I recommend. So if you have a website, do a blog as well. It will really help you get found online because it just gives you so many more opportunities to get found because you have more pages on your site. And then it also creates evergreen assets. So one of the issues I would say with creating content online on social media like Facebook, like TikTok and LinkedIn, things like that, if you're just putting posts up, especially stories, you put stories up, they're gone in 24 hours. But even with your normal posts, they disappear up the screen and never to be seen again after you've posted them. So they don't go a long way, usually your normal posts. But a blog and your YouTube channel is different because these two mediums, when you have your YouTube channel, because you can SEO those as well, you're found online for the key search words that people will be searching. They'd watch the video and that video can keep bringing you in business months and years after you've posted it on YouTube. It's the same with your blog. That blog can keep, in one particular blog that you've SEO'd for a particular search term, can keep bringing you in business as long as that blog is up and running. And you may have written that blog 2 years ago, but it's still bringing in new business today. That is what we call evergreen assets. It can still work years on down the line. And that's the power of a blog as well. And the other thing is it's flexible. So yes, you can have a blog and have it as a way to write things, and you can write long articles, but you can also write short little snippets. If you don't want to write a particularly long blog in one particular day, you can make it just one paragraph and publish. There's no rules as to how long it's got to be. That's if you just want to just keep people expecting and keep them engaged. Obviously, for SEO, the longer you write, the more juice that's going to have. But just in terms of keeping people engaged that are already following your blog, then that's a really good idea for you to be able to just switch up the content a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly the same every time. And you can also do videos. If you do want to do videos, you can turn it into a blog, a video blog, right? You can mix up the medium. You don't have to write every day. You can post a video on your blog instead one day. So it really is flexible in that way. You can really make it your own. It's your little piece of the world, of the internet world, and you can do what you want with it. And another way it's really good is it helps you to build your email list. Now, building an email list in your business is really critical because it's the only thing you really own. It's the only thing your business really owns. If you're marketing on Facebook and other social media channels, you're renting space on those places. You don't own them. You don't set the rules. Facebook decided to change what it's doing one day. Your business could completely change overnight as a result of it. That has happened many times through the history of Facebook. And it's the same with the other channels as well. You've got no control over how they deliver their content. So you're just renting. Whereas when you take them off social media and you have their email and you store their email in your list, every time you have something new to offer, you can market that to your email list. So that is a great way to keep your business going. And basically the money is basically in the follow-up. So people won't necessarily do a lot of transactional business with you the first time they meet you or they hear about you. But if you capture their email during that initial transaction of interest, they are more likely to do something with you down the line if you keep emailing them with some value. Building your list is critical. All right. So those are some ways that having a blog is really beneficial for you. So if you've written off blogs in the past as it's either old school or there's no use for it, then I hope I've been able to persuade you here that actually it's a really good business tool, a good marketing tool for you. So if you decide now that you do want to do a blog, then we need to look at where to start. How do you start blogging? All right. So one option is you have a website. So if you haven't got a website right now, you can go to this platform called system.io. And this I have found out of all the tools out there on building websites, this is the easiest. This is the simplest. It's the quickest. It's going to be the most painless way to learn if you want to build your own website. It's quite intuitive, easy to do. Plus the cost of it is low, and that cost is basically the cost that you pay to host a normal website. But on System.io, you can build your website with a blog attached, but you can also build your email list on it and mass email out to your list. You can build courses on it. You can do webinars on it, and you can do sales funnels as well. So it's a full marketing tool, all for the price that you would pay normally for one website. So really good way to start. If you are just starting out and you haven't got a website, you can very quickly get up a one-page website with a blog attached, very, very simply done on System.io. So I highly recommend that you do that. Okay. Next one is there's a platform called Medium, which is a good way to get a blog out. And what you can do here is publish your posts or publish your blogs on Medium. And so you have an account with Medium. There's a free account and then there's a paid version, which gives you some more options. But basically you publish your post or your blog on Medium, and then you can republish just with a few clicks of a button, republish it over to your website as well. And I'd always say do both. If you're going to put your blogs on external blog sites, good. There are reasons. I'll go into the reasons why that's a good idea. But you also want to put the blog on your own website as well. You need to have it where you own it and you control it as well. Because again, with these external sites, you don't own them. If they went down or they change the way they do things, it's going to affect how your blog is treated. Always do it both ways if you're going to do that. But Medium is great because it gives you a wider audience, because there's already an audience going to Medium to find information and read blogs, and they will have their favorite blogs to read on the site, and yours then could be one of them. That's a good idea because you've got a ready audience waiting for your blog, right? So all you have to do is create your account, do a little bit of simple design to create your own little corner in Medium, and then you can start blogging. Really, really easy, really good way to do it. Substack is another one, which is very similar in terms of it's an external tool again, but it's a way for you to do blogs and newsletters, and again, reach an audience that's already existing with members that are already in Substack consuming content. They could consume yours as well. So that's another option. And you can also use LinkedIn. LinkedIn articles is another option. And you can do a newsletter also on LinkedIn as well. So you can position yourself as an authority with those thought pieces and that information that you can give your subscribers. And people subscribe to, if you do a newsletter on LinkedIn, they'll subscribe to your newsletter. They will also then, every time you do a new issue, they will receive that issue in their email box as well. So that's a really cool tool. Excuse me. So that's option 4. LinkedIn is a great tool as well to consider a blog. But as I say, if you post things on there, just put it on your blog as well, on your website. Okay. All right. Those are different ways that you can go about creating blogs, and they don't cost you. They're either very low cost or they're no cost. And it depends. Even the ones with no cost, you could pay for some extra features as well. All right. To look more professional in some way or anything like that. Yeah. Okay, so tips to make it work. So how are you going to make your blog work? What's the best solution for you here? One is to be consistent. So it's better to do something less often, but at the same time each time, than it is to do 10 in one go and then not do anything for the next 3 months, right? So consistency in marketing always works best. So be consistent. So with your blogs, just carve some time in your calendar to say, right, this morning, this, like you could say, is a Monday morning. Every Monday morning between 8 and 9 o'clock, I'm going to write my blog. And you do that every single week, then you're going to get a blog up every week. And at the end of the year, you will have 52 blogs written. All right. But if you don't want to do it every week, that's okay. If you want to do it every month, then you'll have 12 at the end of the year. But it'll be consistent and people will expect it at that time. Right. So be consistent. Stay in your brand lane is another one. I keep saying this in a lot of my videos. Stay in your lane. Talk about your one thing that you want to be known for. So stay in your lane. Don't confuse your readers with multiple different interests. You may have, like if I, for example, play the saxophone, you can see that black thing in the background there. That's a digital sax. I could talk about playing the saxophone, right? Because it interests me. But if people are coming to my YouTube channel, for example, here, and they're wanting to learn about business or branding, they're not going to be interested in me playing the sax necessarily. Maybe one video, just for interest. Oh, Ange does that. Fine. But if I start mixing sax into all of my other videos, then people are going to be confused. So what does she do? Why is she putting that here? So you want to be consistent and you want to stay in your lane and just talk about the things that people know you for and the things that bring value to your audience. That's the key thing about that. All right. So things that bring value to your audience. Use strong headlines. Headlines help to grab attention, to make people read and think, oh, what's this? Now, you don't want to do clickbait. Clickbait is when you have some kind of really attention grabbing header that creates curiosity or shock or disgust or makes people think that they're going to read something. And when they click in, it's something completely different and it's not what you said it was going to be. Don't do that. That's clickbait. We don't want to do that. But you want to write strong headlines that are going to attract them to want to read more about your article so they will click it and read the blog. All right. So use strong headlines that will attract people in. And then include a CTA. What is a CTA? A CTA is a call to action. It's a very common word in marketing. So a call to action is basically telling people what you want them to do next. All right. After they've read your article, what should they do next? So you can use your call to action in your blog, and you should put a call to action in all your blogs. At the end of your blog, just tell them, what offer you've got for them or where they should go to buy some kind of lead magnet, some kind of download that they can download that helps them and that's connected to what it is that you do. Your goal really at the end of your blog article should be to lead them to somewhere where they're going to give you their email address. So remember what I said earlier about building your list. You want to start building your list out. So every time someone reads your blog, you want to try and filter them through to taking their giving. Oh my God, I'm messing this up now. You want them to give you their email so that you can then market to them down the line. All right. You need to be building that email list. So always include a call to action. So again, that's another great way that a blog can help you, because it can really help you build your list as long as you remember to put the call to action at the end of your blogs. Okay. So that's it. That's been quite a long video today, but I think that's helped in really making the case for blogging. It's not something that's dying out, still something that's really worthwhile you doing in your business as one form of marketing for your business. And because it has that evergreen functionality to it, that means that it's not just seen once and done. So you're not wasting your time by doing a blog, because that blog is going to serve you for years down the line. Every time you write something for your blog or you record some video for your vlog, it's going to serve you down the line, because people will still keep consuming it in the years to come. So always try and also make sure you can do some articles that are very timely in terms of time sensitive. They're related to what's going on in the world today. But then you can do other blogs that are just timeless, right? What you're writing about is always going to be true. And those are the blogs that are going to serve you down the line, because it's something that people will keep coming back to read. All right. So I hope I've helped to persuade you that you should be writing a blog, and that all is not lost if you don't want to do video. You don't have to. Doing a blog is going to serve your business very, very well. All right. So if you need any help with writing blogs, for example, or just putting a strategy together for what kind of content you're going to put out on a blog, or you want help building the website out with the blog that's attached to it, these are all things that I can help you with. Do subscribe to my video, ring the bell so that you get more videos like this, and keep coming back to my channel and supporting my channel. I am trying to grow it now because I really want to be of service to people that are building the business and building their brand. And as you see, also, they've got links to my website, angestuff.com. You can visit there, find out more about me. And my Stan store. Oh, that's a bit wrong. Actually, that should be /Angestuff. Oh, I better change that. stan.store/Angestuff. Then you will be able to find out more about me and the other kind of services that I offer as well. All right. So really hope you found some value. If you've got to the end of this video, because it is quite a long one, thank you so much for your attention. And I look forward to being able to help you at some point in the very near future. Bye-bye for now.